Hi guys, how you doing? So today I'm going to be installing a rear harness bar in this E91 3 Series Tourer. So we'll jump inside and we'll see how we go. In the back, the customer's already taken off a fair bit of the interior. As you can see, I've just taken off an extra couple of covers to give me some more access. But basically the harness bar is going to travel from one side to the opposite side in the rear. And because he doesn't want to cut or weld onto the chassis in any way, shape or form, because he may want to return it to standard, we're going to come off, there's two mounting points here and the original seat belt mounting point up the top in there. So we're going to come off those 3 points. We're going to measure some hole centers across all the way and then measure a rough size of the bracket. But we should be able to make a fairly nice bracket that comes round, angles up and then goes off into the side. So I'll quickly take some measurements. I say quickly, we've got a few tools down here just to align stuff, because these holes, if I travel across the other side, so these holes aren't in line at all. And then we've got to come over and up to get to that back one. So it's quite a complex bracket with a few complex measurements, but we'll take some measurements, we'll put it into e-machine on the plasma CNC machine, and we'll see what we come out with. So here's the measurements I took. They're rough, let's put it that way. Hopefully it's going to come out all right. Obviously we've got a very confined space, so we need to be fairly small with the bracket. It's going to be out of 3mm mild steel, but I'm going to do a test cut in some 1.2 alley offcuts that I've got. So we'll throw it in e-machine. So we've got 2 M8 bolts at the bottom and then 1 M10 bolt at the top. So the holes, just to give us a little bit of leeway, are going to be 10mm on the bottom and 12mm on the top. I've already put it over into sheet cam, which is there. So that's the path that the CNC machine's going to run, and I'll just get this temporary alley one cut out and then folded across that corner. So that's the temporary bracket in place. The top hole doesn't line up. It may be where the fold is. Obviously it's got to be quite a precise fold, or I may just have mismeasured. So I'm going to remeasure that. The next one I'm going to cut will be out of 3mm sheet. It's not that expensive, so if it doesn't quite work out, but I mean that's pretty close. Everything fits apart from that top bolt's a few mil out. So we'll get the next one cut out and see what happens. And that's the 3mm one. Again, the hole does not line up. Obviously now it's at a 3mm, things have moved slightly when you bend it. The bend radius is slightly larger. So I'll make a slight correction for the 3mm plate. And then we'll basically get them both in. We've got a 45mm bit of roll cage tube to go between the two. So I'll get them both in, get that slotted and lined up, and I'll get that welded. It turned out quite nicely. Managed to get that fold in the right place and the bolts in nicely. So it's pretty smart. Actually looks like quite a nice fitted bracket. But it fits really nice and tight. Let's see if I can show you. So when that bolts down, that fits really nice. So he also wanted, or ideally, some bars that come on basically off this corner and then somewhere down here. We talked about different angles, but I think I'm going to go from this corner up here down to this point here. I'll make a plate up, and basically both parts will tie in It's not for strength, it's to stop anything that's in the boot coming forward apparently. But it might look quite smart as well. Space is definitely a premium for me to try and video this. So I've got some 1-inch tube that's the same grade as the 45mm roll cage tube, and it's quite good for making like little front bars up or complete front end, unboltable front ends for bumpers. But in this case we're going to use it to triangulate off of this main harness hoop, harness bar, and I measured it and just cut an angle into it, so it will basically, so it's going to be like that from both sides. So I'll sort out the other one, put the same angle cuts in it, then I'll shape it to fit the top tube, and we'll look at making up a small plate for the rear. There is a small M8 hole just down there, so like I say, there won't be any strength in it. It will just possibly look slightly smarter than having just the bar. I just got it tacked in. Looks pretty cool. I've tried to weld as much as I can. Obviously there's not going to be a lot of heat going through on the tops there, but I've only tacked the bottom one. So I'll just, so as you can see, I've welded across there on the front and back on both sides as best as I can in the situation. And then I've just tacked these, got 4 tacks on the bottom, so I'll get that all tacked up. And then once that's all welded and I've double checked that it fits in, I may look at making a small gusset for each corner, maybe one down the bottom. You can see there it does lean forward quite a bit. I decided against the gussets just in case he wanted to put some long stuff through and they might get in the way, and they'll be pretty flimsy, so they'll just be for looks. But that's it, all done. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos, subscribe, hit the bell to get notifications. You can also check us out on Facebook, the link's going to be in the description. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.